T-shirts I actually always had a problem with, and that is the reason why I actually started a brand. And my girlfriend can quote me on this. I said to her, I'm starting a brand because no clothes fit me.
99% of clothing brands die or they never succeed.
People think it's quick money.
The
amount of people that think it's quick money is ridiculous. Like, there's a reason why only 1% of brands actually succeeded. There's so many times where I could have quit. There's so many times where there were situations where it's like, oh, fuck this, man. I don't want to do this no more. There were 2 times in my life when I was starting a brand. That uni time was just literally me and my mate were sitting on the couch one day and he was like, oh, we should create a clothing brand.
I think every single person has had this conversation. Did you have that phase where you just wanted things to be done quick?
Yeah, but as all entrepreneurs know, that never happens. It doesn't work like that. I didn't know how things worked. I didn't know how long manufacturers took to produce. I didn't know how reliable manufacturers were. I didn't even know how to even search for manufacturers. Focus on this clothing brand. Let's make it consistent. And if this doesn't work, then fine. I will leave it. I'll go back to being a graphic designer. All that stress, all that anxiety, all that pressure that I had to build this brand to where it is. I'm so happy I didn't quit. I am so happy.
Yeah. Actually, you had Lil Baby comment on your...
That was insane. That was... So there's actually a story behind it.
Before we get started with today's podcast, I have a small favor to ask. 95% of you guys watching have not subscribed yet. In order to help me bring on bigger guests, if you've learned anything from any of my podcast episodes, please subscribe to this channel. Thank you and enjoy the podcast. Thank you so much, Sagar, for joining me on an episode of the Inspired Mind podcast.
It's good to be here.
I just want to dive right into the podcast and go in your journey of... actually, let's go back to before your clothing business or the brand you're trying to build. What was your early life like? School, uni? Did you go to any?
So I went to... Obviously, wait, I don't know how I'm going to say this. So yeah, I went to school and I went to university, secondary school, then into university. And the reason for the whole clothing actually started from like school time. Well, I guess it translated from the habits I used to have in school. And one of them was to do with like graphic design, because I was learning graphic design in like year 7, year 8. And then my mate would teach me graphic design. And I think that was the real reason why I became a creative in a sense, because so growing up from year 7 onwards into GCSE, I would be like literally, I downloaded Photoshop cracked. Yeah, like everyone.
We would have done that.
Yeah.
I've done it as well.
And I was literally like just trying to master design in a way. And one of the things I used to do is whenever I'm traveling, whenever I'm out, I would look at like billboards or anything that's been created using Photoshop or whatever. And I would think in my head how that was made, and I would construct it. I would construct it, and if there's something I don't know, I would go back home. I'll go on YouTube and I'll search how to do it. So that mindset where it's like, oh, how do I change that, or how can I make that? That's what really reciprocated into the clothing, because I was a bit of a skinny boy when I was growing up, especially in university, and I'd have a problem with the t-shirts, because the neck of the t-shirt would like be too loose.
The collarbone.
And I had collarbones, right? And so it didn't fit me nicely. And that actually goes to the reason why I started wearing oversized clothes. And t-shirts I actually always had a problem with. And that is the reason why I actually started a brand. And my girlfriend can quote me on this. I said to her, I'm starting a brand because no clothes fit me.
Wow. I mean, you solved your own problem, and in the world of business, I think solving a problem means you're building a successful business as well.
But obviously, nowadays, a lot of brands have like nice necklines, and it's all nice and tight. But before, there was no brand that did like a nice tight neckline. The ones that did do it were like expensive, and I couldn't afford that back in the day.
That makes sense. Talking about your early life in school and learning graphic design, was there a spark was there something which inspired you to become one, or was it just your friends kind of teaching you and you just loved the process of it?
I have to give props to my friend, because my friend was like a wizard at Photoshop. And I was just so shocked at how good this guy was. Even now when I look back at it, the guy was crazy at Photoshop. And I think it was just that, and he was my best mate as well. So I used to chill with him all the time. And I think that's what really just made me like using Photoshop and graphic design in general. And
I used to be that friend to my friends.
Yeah.
I used to be the good at Photoshop
You
guy.
used to be the wizard.
yeah.
The wizard, the grand wizard. I always think to myself, how is he at Photoshop now, innit? Because I don't really speak to him anymore. But yeah, it's like it was like, it wasn't a passion. It was just something I was doing because I was bored. I wasn't like, oh my God, I'm gonna become like a graphic designer when I grow up. Because at that age, you don't really know what you're doing at university. For GCSEs, I wanted to do psychology. I don't know why, but someone told me it's to do with the brain, and I was like, okay, let me do psychology. But then I realized maybe I should just do graphic design, and it was just literally that. I would just make like posters for my friends.
So you did GCSE and A levels.
A levels, I didn't do graphic design. A levels, I did IT and business.
So which uni did you go to?
For university, I went to Hertfordshire.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that's close by as well.
Yeah, that's when I think my path of being a graphic designer started really, because it would have been in A levels, but there was no option to do graphic design in A level. So yeah, I decided that I would just do IT and business because it was the closest I can get to graphic design.
Yeah.
Because I knew in uni I would do graphic design. But I just needed, obviously, the UCAS points to do that.
Everyone does that. We're like, I need 200 something to UCAS points. Let me just do this and just get it done and dusted.
So I was like, do you know what? Let me just do that. Because IT has a bit of graphic design, but I mean, just like, yeah.
By the way, while we're talking, this hoodie is already keeping me warm enough because this room is usually cold. And I'm always cold during a podcast. Yeah. And this is the first time I'm wearing something which is good enough and keeping me warm. So thank you.
Hey, just a side note to everyone else, yeah. Before I came, I was like, listen, if I'm coming on this podcast, you got to be wearing Seaszn.
I'm not kidding right now, guys. There are only certain hoodies which are really good in terms of the material. This is top tier material. Yeah, so that's the only reason why I'm wearing it and I'm loving it.
Would you have just thrown it on the side?
or else I would have just done that after. But this is something that you will see me wearing very often.
Yeah.
But going back to uni, what did you study at uni?
At university, I studied interactive media design.
So many people go to uni and they're like, I'm so busy uni. There's so much work in uni and I can't do anything. So I just want to know, you like, yes, you had a problem that there were no clothes which kind of fit your neck. But what was the process of like, when did the idea first spark and how did you execute that idea?
As in for the clothing brand?
For the clothing brand.
Literally like after uni.
So during uni, you didn't do anything?
During uni, I was always complaining. I would literally buy so much ASOS because I'm going out like 3 times a week in university, especially first and second year. So I'm always buying stuff from ASOS. The quality is trash. The fitting is rubbish. Like nothing. I was always sending stuff back, and that was one of the main problems. So I think it was in my mind to start a clothing brand always. Like I remember in like second year, me and my friend were literally like going through like names and stuff like that. Like I think one of them was like Rose London.
Rose London.
I literally have a list on my phone of the names that we came up with. Even right now I have the list. And that was it though. It didn't go anywhere else from there. I didn't have time, if I'm being honest, and you need to start a brand. And even looking back at it, if I did, it would have flopped because I just wasn't in the right mindset. I was too busy going out. I was too busy doing assignments. So that university wasn't really realistic to start a clothing brand. Yeah.
I was just about to pinpoint you. They were like, you didn't make time for it because you probably didn't have the mindset. And I guess in uni, you can either take uni as a life to enjoy your life while you're at uni, or you can be that one guy who's always trying to hustle. And I didn't enjoy uni, so maybe you had a better uni life than me in that fact as well.
Yeah, I think university with me was just a place to get away from home.
Yeah.
And just like...
Do you have any regrets? Like you wish you started earlier?
No. The reason
That's
why
really good.
Was that I couldn't. There was no way. I didn't have resources. I didn't have time to do research. I didn't know what was going on.
All over the place.
Literally, I had all these assignments to do, and I had a really social life in university as well.
Okay.
So I was like, let me just make the most out of this. I was enjoying uni. I don't have regrets about university. I'm so happy I went. I met a lot of people. I met my best friends I met in uni. So I love that part of uni. But in terms of creating a business out of uni, if I did, it could have done well because it's easy to market yourself in uni.
Yeah.
If TikTok was around, then maybe. But back then, you didn't have TikTok. You only had Instagram, and it wasn't really that great of a marketing tool.
Yeah.
Than TikTok is right now.
That's true. Now, when you were at uni and you were coming up with the names for the clothing brand,
Yeah.
didn't you ever get this thought like 99% of clothing brands die or they never succeed?
No.
You never had any of that like that?
Not while I was. So there were two times in my life when I was starting a brand.
Yeah.
That uni time was just literally me and my mate were sitting on the couch one day, and he was like, "Oh, we should create a clothing brand."
I think every single person has had this conversation.
Yeah, and then literally like I got because I could do Photoshop. I literally mocked up a design.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna show anyone the design. It's absolute trash. But literally, it's just like because I can use Photoshop, I can literally do things like that.
Yeah.
Like if I have even like now, if I have an idea, I'll literally go on Photoshop and I'll create it because I have that skill set now where I can do that. I can use Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign. I can literally create a clothing like with my computer just like that.
That's crazy because most people underestimate the power of like graphic designing itself. I'm so freaking glad because as an influencer or as a content creator, I would say, we always have to kind of curate thumbnails and post and everything. And one thing I'm so grateful for was learning Photoshop at an early age. So I think that's helped me a lot.
The amount of money that we save.
Yeah.
The amount of money we save.
I'm telling you. And what's crazy, I still have to reach out because now I don't have the time to kind of do that. And I'm paying shitload of money to them to do the things which I can do as well. And I'm like, holy crap. If you want to really make money, you can just learn how to use Photoshop, start offering services, and you're done. But
it's still fun because if there's like a tight deadline, you can just do it yourself.
Yeah.
So you still got it there in your locker. You just need
the whole of this podcast kind of banner and thumbnails and everything. I was the one who kind of came up with it.
There
so
you go.
That was the good part.
Yeah.
But talking about the clothing brand itself as well. So now let's jump to the part where you actually started the clothing brand when you left uni. What was the process for that?
So I came out of uni in 2018, and obviously everyone has this perception of when you come out of uni, you need to get a job straight away.
Yeah,
you know, you need to get yourself sorted because time's running out, all this stuff. I thought that I was like that because obviously my parents are like, "Oh, when are you gonna get a job?" All this stuff, and so it took me like 4 months to get my first job, and I'm trying to think now whether I started my brand. I know I had a job during my brand, but did I start my brand before I got the job or during? Okay, no, it was during. So yeah, I got my first job as a junior graphic designer at TM Lewin, and that was in September, October, and then I think in December is when. So I'm 2 months into my role now. It's going all right, you know.
Yeah.
It's my first job. I'm eager as always. Me and my girlfriend sit down and I'm like, I can't remember how it happened, but I had a conversation with my girlfriend. I'm like, I really want to start a clothing brand. Like, I think I can do it. So obviously when I have an idea, I just want to action on it straight away.
Yeah.
So it was all about, first of all, you start with the name, right? And we had all these names. Obviously, like I did with my other mate, I did with my girlfriend, and we had all these names. She came up with some weird names. I'm not even going to say it. And then, obviously, I was at the gym. And then, okay, wait, let me track back actually, because I'm losing my thought.
That's fine.
I used to watch, so Kanye, before he got cancelled, right?
Yeah.
He used to be very iconic in terms of his Yeezy fashion shows and all that stuff. And every Yeezy fashion show will be called season 1, season 2, season 3. So I was in gym, and this is in the week where we were thinking of names, and I thought it was season because I like the word season because it literally, fashion is based around seasons.
Yeah.
The word season is literally flown everywhere. Like, I don't know, some people say, "Oh, I'm grind season," or like, "I'm gonna make money this season," or something like that. Whatever. I was like, oh my God, I'm doing literally tricep. I'm doing tricep. And I'm thinking of his name. I'm like, whoa. Seaszn. And then I was like, how can I make it different though? So I changed the SON at the end of Seaszn to SZN because it's a bit more urban. And looking back at it, when I see SON, it doesn't look nice. But SZN looks nice, isn't it? I was like, I call my girlfriend. I'm like, I got it. I got the perfect name. I go home. I think I ended my gym early. I go home and then I got my computer. I write Seaszn. Okay. It's in Helvetica.
Yeah.
and I swear to God, yeah, I'm on Dafont. So if you don't know yet, Dafont is you just get free fonts from there and you can use it on Photoshop. That's where everyone gets their fonts from, really. I went on Dafont, I typed Seaszn in the thing, and it showed me all different types of fonts with Seaszn. And then it came up with this like diagonal font, and I was like, whoa, that's cool. So I downloaded that font. I went to Photoshop, and then I split the font into two, and then I moved it a bit to the side, so it's like a glitch effect on the font.
Yeah.
And I sat back, I was like, this is it. I go to my brother's room and I show him, what do you think about this? He's like, ooh, maybe you should make it outline. I was like, all right, cool. I made it outline. But I was like, do you know what? No, you can't really see it if it's outline, so I made it block. But then, that's how it was started. Literally, in that same week, I got the logo done, trademarked the name.
Oh, you trademarked this as well?
Bought the domain.
Nice.
And that's it. That's how it started. And then from there, it was just get designing. Obviously, I didn't reveal it to anyone that I was starting a brand. I just wanted to get the first design out of the way first. But the excitement that I felt, in that week was so crazy. I thought I was I was doing something revolutionary. Like, I thought I was starting the maddest thing. Well, I did start the maddest thing, but back then, like, I didn't know the realism of starting a brand and become an entrepreneur. I didn't know that. It was more of just like based on my friends will buy it, you know what I mean? Like, let me just cop like 10 pieces and send it to my friends.
But coming up with an actual sick brand is intense. Like, it must be hard as well. But you, I think, took your time, and that's what most people don't do. They just want to get on it instantly and start doing things so quick. And I think in the start, you probably had this little of instant gratification feeling, like you wanted things to be done instantly as well. And did you have that phase where you just wanted things to be done quick?
Yeah, but as all entrepreneurs know, that never happens. It doesn't work like that. I didn't know how things worked. I didn't know how long manufacturers took to produce. I didn't know how reliable manufacturers were. I didn't even know how to even search for manufacturers. So that's obviously where phase 2 comes in. So I've made the brand, got the name, trademarked. Obviously, I have to make sure of that. Got the domain. We use a website thing called Big Cartel. Okay. So a lot of people use Shopify nowadays to sell their product, but we use Big Cartel. I wish I used Shopify from the start, but
how come?
Big Cartel was free. So I was like, let me just use a free option. You get a maximum of 5 products in the free plan. So I was like, do you know what? Yeah, let's just do it, and then we can upgrade later on. So now it's all about finding the right manufacturer. How do you even find a manufacturer? I just typed in clothing manufacturer in Google because back then, like, there was no TikTok. When I got on TikTok now, you can literally start a brand and know all the information straight away.
Yep.
Like, there's literally videos explaining exactly how to do it and what to send manufacturers and what to ask for, this and that. Before, like, there was nothing like that. I had to Google. YouTube had it, but YouTube wasn't, like, right now, I use TikTok more than YouTube. Yeah. If I want to search something, I'll search on TikTok. I'll be like, oh, what's this? Or what's this? And there'll be a video on it.
And it will take so much less time.
It will take so much less time because it'll be like 15 seconds long. I don't have to watch adverts.
Yeah.
I don't have to skip adverts twice. None of that. So the second phase was obviously finding my right manufacturer. I remember, like, it was like, when you start a brand and put it on Instagram, you get a lot of these accounts, these manufacturers that send you DMs saying, oh, we produced the best fabrics, all this stuff, right?
Yep.
They may seem as spam, but they actually are manufacturers. Like, they actually are pretty legit, but obviously some of them are like scammers and stuff like that. So I was like to my girlfriend, I was like, okay, look, we're getting all these DMs from these manufacturers. Cause we started the brand page, but we haven't posted anything or anything like that. It's just Do you know what I mean? But they still, because I had the title of the page was clothing brand. Like when it shows,
they can find those.
They can find from
pages.
there. Yeah. So we're getting DMs saying, "Oh, we can produce your clothing, all this stuff." And then obviously during my Google research, I found a website called Sewport.
Okay.
And Sewport back in the day used to be free, but now they charge. And basically what it is, it's just a whole literally network of manufacturers. You just type what you want, and then you can get in contact with all the manufacturers and stuff like that. So I used Sewport to find my first manufacturer, which was in Pakistan. And I have a really blurred memory of that period because a lot happened, but not much happened. That year when we first started, we only released 3 times in the year. And
when you did release your first one,
yeah,
how many pieces did you release?
We released
not pieces released. How many pieces did you have in stock, and did you sell any?
Yeah, we sold all of them.
Oh, you sold all of them?
Yeah, we sold.
How did you do the marketing for that?
We had like 50 pieces, and we sold all of them. So basically, let me just track back a bit. So I got the song. I found the manufacturer on Sewport, and then obviously then it came to getting the design right, getting the samples made, and what I do now is. What you're meant to do is you're meant to send like a tech pack, which is like a PDF file containing the sizing, design, positioning of the design, everything, material. If you have pockets, like what type of zips you want on it, literally every single detail of the hoodie or whatever garment you're making, you put in that tech pack. And that basically, you send that to the manufacturer and they make, so it gives them a better understanding of what you want. So the more detail you have on the tech pack, the more it will come out like how you want it, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, back in the day, I didn't know much. I literally had like a Google image of a hoodie, and then I put lines on it with all the sizing, and it was just so messy looking. It looked so messy. So obviously, I'm saying obviously a lot.
No. I mean, you will probably hear me saying okay, so much, but it just happened.
So I created what I called a tech pack, and I sent that to the manufacturer. They come back with a sample. It was like I wanted like a black hoodie, or was it like a dark grey hoodie, and it has like a tape design on it.
Okay.
So back in the day, that's how a lot of that design was quite trendy, where you have like tape and then you have the text in the tape. So I thought, do you know what? I quite like that design, so I'm gonna do that. And then obviously I like Japanese fashion, so I had like not a Japanese but a Chinese writing on the back in a circle. So I had 2 designs of a hoodie, one with the tape and then one with the back design. So I was like, cool, let's get these sampled. I got both of them sampled. It took I took like 3 samples to get it perfect because the sizing was all over the place. I didn't know like what I wanted with the sizing, and I didn't know that you had to like make the shoulder longer to make it drop shoulder, all that stuff. So the shoulder was still quite short and the arm was looking a bit awkward. But yeah, so we managed to get the final sample. I was like, all right, cool. I'm happy enough for this to go out. It is our first product. I didn't know that. And then, we get them made. I don't think we had any problem with producing them. I think they got produced quite quickly. But yeah, so they came and then it was time for marketing. I took a picture. I'm wearing the hoodie. I'm in my house. I took a picture of like the back of it and it looks so bad. Like looking back at it, it looks so bad. Like the product pictures weren't even selling the product. Like you couldn't even see the hoodie because I put the saturation. No, I put like the contrast all the way up. So the hoodie's black, proper black. And it just obviously at the time, I think that's what people were doing, but I feel like the growth since those products it is really showing me that you do need to give it like a couple years, even like 3-4 years to actually understand the market and understand how to just create quality pieces. And like, from there. And
when did you get started on TikTok?
TikTok was something that I started because my girlfriend was nagging me. She was like, you need to come on TikTok. I was like, no, I don't want to go on this app. It's full of people just dancing.
Yeah.
It's cheesy. I didn't like it. So I started TikTok in 2021. I started TikTok. And
So this is around 2 years into you starting the clothing brand.
yeah. So we're reaching 4 years this year. So it's like mid, yeah. So around 2 years. And I remember when I first posted my first TikTok, it was, what was it? It was a TikTok about how to create clothing or something like that.
Yeah.
Or pack a product with me, pack an order with me. And it did like 15 views. And my girlfriend was obviously, she had quite a few followers, right? So I was like moaning to her, like, listen, this is why I didn't start TikTok. Look at this. I haven't got no views on this. So then she's like, don't worry, you'll get views, you get views. So then I hang up the call, I go dinner and all that stuff. And I come back to my room and I go on my TikTok and it's blowing up. It's getting like 1,000 views, 2,000 views. I'm like, I call her, I'm like, Kajal, look, I refresh it each time and it's getting more likes, getting more likes each time. What's going on? Has it gone viral? It turns out that she's stitched the video with her. She's done a stitch. So stitch is when it's got one video and then another video on the side, right? So it had my video and then she's obviously reacting to it. Her caption was something like, "Oh, but help my boyfriend. He's trying to she's trying to grow on TikTok, but he's not getting any views." So I'm like, okay, that's good of you, yeah, but also you're making me seem like a fool here. But yeah, and then obviously the video got like, I think like 7K views or something like that. In that time, it was good for me. I was like, oh, this is so cool. Like, I'm blowing up. I was like, and then yeah, that's how it really started. And I just started posting videos of like.
Did you get those comments like another clothing brand on TikTok?
No. The comments I was getting was like good comments, as in like, because they're all coming from Kajal's TikTok.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, like good luck on your clothing brand. Oh, I love your clothing brand. It's so dope. Or something like about my TikTok journey. Good luck with that. It was all good comments basically. Nothing was like
negative,
like toxic like that.
Yeah.
And even with all my videos right now, like I try to leave out the toxicity because I feel like once you respond to that, you're never gonna stop getting it. Because the way TikTok is like there's a lot of trolls and people like to get under your skin.
Yeah. But
with mine, I make my content, so it's kind of it's serious in a way because I'm talking about my brand, but also I have videos where I do vlogs and I'm just like messing around, going on nights out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's like two sides of me on TikTok, and I think I got that right balance at the moment of business and lifestyle.
I think that balance is really important because then people can see your personality.
Yeah.
And including me, many other influencers or people who make TikTok videos, we focus too much on creating content and we don't focus on the lifestyle type videos because that's what people connect with. Yeah. And I think that's the balance you have done really well. And it shows in your kind of content as well. So that's
because I can't, if I just talk about clothing all day and my brand and how I pack orders, people are going to get bored. People always want different content.
Yeah.
So if you see me packing orders in one video and then me going on a night out in another, they love that because like they want to see what I'm doing outside of the brand as well.
I think that's a unique strategy which most clothing brands on TikTok hasn't applied and died. I've seen many die.
Yeah.
I've seen so I'll tell you a funny story.
Yeah.
Back in 2020, I decided to start a clothing brand.
Okay.
It wasn't for profit. It was for make money and give that money to charity. Made it. Went on Printful. Do you know that print on demand? I went on Printful.
Got blanks.
Yeah. Put my design on it. Made the website on Shopify. I went Hertfordshire to take pictures with my friends who actually were studying at Hertfordshire. So I was in the campus taking pictures. So there's probably pictures out there still on the website somewhere.
On the green grass.
On the green grass and everything. Yeah. So and you know,
not the green grass.
There's a building made of glass as well, and like it's on the outside. There's a little.
Is it DHEV?
I don't know what it was, but it was in that entire campus. We were just taking pictures.
Yeah.
And so then I released it. Done it for like a month, and I'm like, there is no way there's going to be any money in this. So I'm like, you know what? Let's put it on the side. And rather than wasting like £30 in Shopify and other platforms, I'm just not going to carry on. And I realized that starting a clothing brand is not easy. And every time after that, someone asks me like, yo, what do you think of starting a clothing brand? I'm like, yeah, don't.
People think it's quick money.
kid
The
you
amount
not,
of people that think it's quick money is ridiculous. Like, there's a reason why only 1% of brands actually succeed, and it's because you have to get through the bad times.
Yeah.
And the bad times is, I don't know, having delays in shipment, learning how to even create a clothing brand, learning the procedure, learning the structure of getting a sample and then making change to that sample and then getting the bulk done and then waiting like a month to get the bulk. It's learning marketing skills, it's learning graphic design skills, it's learning business skills, it's learning how to manage finances. It's so much. And I don't even know how I'm here.
You're a solo man doing all of that.
Bro, I don't know how I'm in this position. I don't know how I've dealt with, I think it's because I just kept believing. Like, especially during COVID and lockdown, my manufacturers, everything was slow, delivery. I don't think we released like hardly any products that year as well. We've never had a what's it called? We never had a consistent year. We've never had a consistent year or even a consistent run. So my mindset was, I'm going to keep going until I have a consistent run. And if after that consistent run, I'm not getting results, I will quit. I'll go back to being a graphic designer. I will reach up to become a creative director. And that's actually how it started, because I was like, I don't want to wait 15 years to become a creative director of someone else. So I'll do it myself. And I became a creative director the next day.
Of your own brand.
My own brand. But yeah, that's what it is really. It's like, I needed to have proof that it's not working, or it's gonna bug me my whole life.
And that you never want to have that feeling of regret in your life, because I feel like that's one thing my biggest fear is the feeling of regret. And 10 years later, I don't want to have a regret saying, I wish I tried that. But when you started your clothing brand, coming from an Indian household, did your parents be like, what in the hell are you up to? Or like, what are you doing? Or were they supportive?
I had a job, obviously, when I had a clothing brand.
Yeah.
So the job kept them
Funded,
sane. Kept them, okay, do you know what? He can do this on the side. He's got a job. He's fine. He's making money. But at the same time, they were very supportive. I can't fault it. I had 2 jobs during the clothing brand. So I was at TM Lewin for like 6 months or to a year or something like that. And then I got made redundant.
Oh, wow.
So I had to look for another job. And I did struggle to I did struggle to have a clothing brand during TM Lewin, because I'd be on my phone. I'd be talking to manufacturers, and I'd have to find time to
apply,
get out of the office and call the manufacturer, or like I'd do it secretly because it's my first job. I don't want to mess it up like that. At the same time, I was still doing all my work at the office. It's not like I was slacking on work. I got made redundant because they were doing some office structure changes and stuff like that. So I was like, cool, got made redundant, got like 3 months worth of pay. I was like, I'll take that.
Yeah.
I don't care. Then I find a job at Protein World.
Okay.
Same as a junior. And at the same time as all of this, I'm doing freelancing as well.
Okay.
I started the freelancing actually in my final year of university. Didn't have that many clients, but I'd get a client once a month. I don't mind. I'll take that. So the freelance was getting me money as well at that point, because I built up like quite a decent client base by the time I got made redundant from TM Lewin, and that really helped, like, just give me a little bit of fun to go out and stuff like that, enjoy myself a bit. But it didn't take long from TM Lewin to get a job at Protein World. It was like, I think 3-4 months until I got the job at Protein World. And yeah, that Protein World is a story. I'm 2 weeks in. The bailiffs come to the door. I'm like, what is going on in this business? I don't even want to talk about Protein World. I don't like that business. Yeah, I don't like what they do. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But yeah, balancing a clothing brand with
a job,
working, it was impossible. It was actually impossible. I think that was why for like 2 years of running a clothing brand, we didn't reach that far. We didn't do anything because I'm in constant contact with my manufacturer, trying to, like, they're sending me all these fabrics. I'm not at home to receive these fabrics. I'm not at home to receive samples. Even the bulk, I had to get the bulk sent to my next door neighbor because I'm not at home.
Yeah.
No one's at home to receive it. And that was one of the main problems, is that I don't have time to have a clothing brand. I'd get home at like 7 o'clock. I'd go gym. Now it's like 9 o'clock. I eat 10, then I'm back to bed again. And I have to wake up at like 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
So it was just like, I don't have time
Intense.
for this. But then, you know how doors open up. I got made redundant again.
Oh, wow.
After COVID, they made me redundant. Oh, do you know what? They sacked me off in the worst way possible. They just deleted my email, so I couldn't even log in. I'm like,
What?
I'm on my computer in the morning. I'm like to my workmates. I'm like, I can't log into my email. What's going on? Yeah, cool. Yeah, you're getting made redundant, mate.
Wow. So they
Yeah.
just decided to do that.
They
That's
just
crazy.
took me out
Was
like
that the time you're like, you know what, might as well go full time in the clothing brand?
Mate, I was already out of that business. Like, I was already like, my head was already like, okay, I'm gonna leave soon. So I was already gonna leave, but I left with like 2 months pay again. So I was like, all right, cool. I was gonna leave anyway, so it's fine. That's when everything changed. That's when I was like, okay, cool. I've got some savings. Let's focus on this clothing brand. Let's make it consistent. And if this doesn't work, then fine. I will leave it. I'll go back to being a graphic designer. And then that's when we started. Well, that was in 2021.
Were you making any money from your clothing brand while you had a job?
Yeah, but everything I made from a clothing brand, I invested back into the business. Yeah, because it was the profit margins weren't great, and we were selling the products for quite cheap. We'd sell the hoodies were being sold for like 40 quid back in the day, and I did that because as a small brand, you can't really charge a lot. The price goes up as your reputation goes up, right?
Yep.
Up to a point, obviously, not that ridiculous price,
Like
£300 like Gucci, like £500, nothing like that. But yeah, what was I saying?
No, in regarding to, did you make enough or like were you making money, but the profits
we
were low?
were making money, but not enough to survive, not enough to live off. There's no way I could live off that money. I was living off my savings. My savings was literally every month it will be going down, down, down. And that was like a countdown for me where I had to start putting work in, because it's like that's going to go soon and I'm going to have no money. I'm going to be screwed. The company's going to fail. I can't go out and see my friends.
When did you consistently start making money from the clothing brand? Was it after being on TikTok and making videos?
So I started TikTok in 2021, and I spent the whole of 2021 doing research. Obviously, we did drop some products, but it was mostly like, so you can't release a t-shirt in September, right? You have.
Why is that?
Because everyone's shopping for winter.
Oh yeah.
So you got to think like that.
Oh, t-shirt. Yeah.
So I have a notes. I was noting down like when brands are dropping products, I was very I would literally stalk their stories to find out any information, because sometimes they post like behind the scenes of them with like color palettes and them at their manufacturer. So one time, one of my favorite brands, Cole Buxton, he posted a story of him at his manufacturer, and he tagged the manufacturer name. So I followed that manufacturer name. I followed him, and I messaged him like, "Oh, I'm looking for a manufacturer in UK, this and that." And he's like, "Yeah, obviously he was really busy at the time because it was just coming out of COVID, and he don't have any time for other manufacturers. But it was good to have that there, just as like a ground to like go to if I want to like level up in a way." And he really he liked the brand a lot, so he was like to me, "Oh, you got like potential, you know." And this is when like the brand was looking quite nice. Like we had that hoodie with the Chinese writing. Yeah. It was looking good. It wasn't looking like B-Tech at all.
Yeah.
So he did see the brand like doing a madness, but I know that it wasn't convincing enough. But he was still nice to be like, if you have any questions, just let me know and I'll try and answer them, because he's a manufacturer. It's like the best contact you can ever get. The guy knows the ins and out of clothing. He knows fabrics. He knows dye, like different types of how to dye a product. He knows the different cuts, the different stitch types, everything he knew. I didn't want to obviously overuse him. I wanted to use him when I needed him, because it's up to me to do the research.
Yeah.
And so that whole year, that whole 2021, we didn't release that many products. I think we released like 2 or 3 times. I can't remember. It's really blurred. That whole COVID time is blurry for me. It really is, because so much happened, but so little happened.
Yeah.
But I just use that. I just use that year to focus. I set up products for January 2022.
Yeah.
2020, January, February, March. That's when I was researching for that. So in September, October of 2021, I had these products ready. We were going to release the first club uniform hoodie in January, and it actually doesn't look like this. It actually had like a signature writing at the bottom of it that says official product.
Okay.
But we removed that because if I made like a brown version of it, that would have to be a different color to the white text, and it just got a bit complicated like that. So I decided to remove that, and it had like sleeve text as well.
Okay.
I put a poll on Instagram. Oh, shall we keep this? No. I removed it. So yeah, we were planning for 2022. I was like to myself, 2022 is going to be the year of consistency. Every month we drop an item, and if that doesn't work, then obviously I'll go back to graphic design. January comes, we do a good photo shoot. Obviously I scout the models. We go to Tate Modern, I think. Is it called Tate Modern, or is it Tate Britain? We go to this. No, sorry, not Tate Modern. That was for the second one. For the black club uniform hoodie, we went to some museum, and it's got like white walls. It's all like very like clean looking. We go there, do the Photoshop, do the photo shoot. It goes really well. And at this point, the feedback that we received for the hoodie is really good. People are like, oh my God, yeah, this is nice. Because we've always done like big designs and out there, right? This is the first time we're doing like a simple hoodie.
Plain.
Just like with like nice minimal writing. So what we do is, I like to post like 1 or 2 weeks before we drop, just to start creating hype. And then during the week, every like other day, I'll start posting like one picture from the shoot each day, or maybe like a video, and then it just builds up hype. Sometimes we do like giveaways and competition stuff like that. I think giveaways really help. But then what I found out is they follow you.
Followers.
They follow you for the giveaway, and then they unfollow you after they don't win.
Yeah.
But it's still a good technique regardless. So I'll be doing the emails and everything just prior to the drop. And on the drop day, prior to the drop day, I lock the website so no one can access the website.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it will only open up at 12 o'clock when we release the item. So, and then at 12 as well, everyone gets an email. If you subscribe, you get an email. I'm always trying to build up the subscribers on the email, because I feel like that's really important.
Email list.
Email subscribers they're loyal, man.
They're basically your only people you own.
Literally.
Other than that, no one.
Literally, they are like, when I look at the statistics from like sending an email, the amount of people that open it is crazy. I'm like, oh my God, this is mad. Like, it's the only way to get like straight contact with people, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
When I post an Instagram story, they see it, but
not all.
Yeah. A lot of people just swipe through or whatever.
Just going through all of it.
Yeah, so we dropped the club uniform hoodie. Did really well. Like really, I think sold out within like 2 weeks in like the small and medium size. I think large stayed for a bit longer. And then in February, obviously we had it planned in 2021. We're releasing the homage hoodie, which is like a brown hoodie with like Chinese writing.
Yeah.
We had that scheduled. So we did a shoot for that. We did it in... That one we did in Tate Modern. Security were tight. Very tight. We got in trouble a lot. That one did really well. And I knew that was going to do well, because that was like that was like it's called homage because it's a homage to the previous beige hoodie that we did, which had also Chinese writing on it and just out there really. So I knew that would do well, and I knew I released that one because I knew it would start boosting everyone who goes to Seaszn, everyone who knows about Seaszn. I wasn't really big on. No, I did post a lot of TikToks on it. Yeah, TikTok really helped with it. I made a Seaszn account on TikTok as well. So we started having obviously a business end of it as well. I had to make a decision whether I wanted to put my face on the business account or not, because I've seen a lot of brands do that and it does well. But I was like, I've got my personal account. Maybe I could just do my personal account and just go hard on my personal account to just promote it. So that's why I haven't really shown my face on it. But everyone who does go to the business account knows who I am because they probably come from my account.
But in terms of you choosing to, let's say, drop a new product every single month consistently or do multiple drops to build that initial audience, how did you even do that?
This is where my girlfriend comes in. She's an influencer. She's been influencer for quite a long time during university, and she helped really bring the brand out. And we'd send it to some of her friends who are also influencers, and putting on your story will bring a lot of people to know the brand. That's literally all it was. We had like 3,000 followers until like 2022. We didn't have that many followers at all. The growth, I wasn't seeing growth, but as long as we're selling, that's all that mattered to me. As long as we're selling out, that's what mattered. In my mind, the growth will come if you just continue doing this. Did you only do
organic marketing, or did you do Facebook ads?
Everything's organic.
Until now, everything's organic.
We've never done ads.
That's crazy.
I believe in ads, but I don't believe in ads. I don't want people buying from the brand and not following the brand journey. I want people to follow the brand journey, get excited for when we drop, purchase it, and then come back for more, because they're gonna realize that this is quite good. The quality of this product is mad.
I think the people who are following your journey are people like you, like who loves these type of things, and that's important. And I think that's why doing ads will definitely. I mean, you can still target people who are like that.
I have heard that TikTok ads are good.
TikTok ads are really
TikTok. Yeah.
I mean, the simplest way is any video which pops off on your normal TikTok, just boost that, and it's gonna reach to 100,000 more people.
Yeah, I can't lie. I have thought about doing that, but what the sound of ads, it gives me a headache. I remember when I was researching how to do Facebook ads, and I don't know if you've seen the Facebook ad page.
The interface.
What even is that? What is a campaign? I don't know. I don't know anything to do with it, and I don't want anything to do with it. Okay, and so TikTok does make it easier, where it's like if I have a good video, I could just boost it. That's right. So I might look into that. But yes, everything's been organic. I don't want to force anything. Even when we sent to influencers, we hardly sent to influencers. But
I'm lucky. I'm one of them.
Yeah,
I'm getting one today. So I mean, I got one today.
He doesn't know that. I'm taking that back after. But now I'm starting to open up to send to influencers. There's a lot of people on TikTok with talent, actual talent. Their videos are are so creative. They're literally showing an outfit, but it's so creative and so I love watching them. So I'm gonna send to a lot more fashion influencers, fashion content creators, because I feel like videos just are more effective than pictures nowadays.
Yeah, I think influencer marketing, it's one of the most popular ways moving forward.
With the growth of Reels and TikTok and just videos in general, pictures are good, but even when I get excited when I post a Reel, because Reels are so much more entertaining to watch. Yeah. I find myself watching Reels more than pictures on Instagram. When I'm on Instagram, you can see the Reels section. I'm always on there looking at Reels, what people are doing.
I spend so much time wasting on that.
Mate, it's crazy how creative people are. They are. How do you even think of that?
Some people are so creative. Like yesterday, one of my fellow creative friend, he's working with a brand, a bank.
Yeah.
He sent a video. He's like, yo, what do you think of this? I watched it and I was like, bro, this is the most impressive brand video you're making till date. It's about a bank which offers you kind of insurance on your money.
Yeah.
So he's like, all right. So he went to Oxford Circus on the main street. He took a wallet, put £100 in, and he put it on the main road, and he circled it with a yellow circle.
Yeah.
And he's like, a guy on YouTube, he done this test of if you do a yellow circle and put a wallet inside, no one's gonna pick it. So then he done that test, and he's like, while he was recording, he was talking about, I don't need to worry about if anyone steals this because this is kind of insured by this bank, which blah blah blah. I'm like, holy crap! Some people are so creative when it comes to
and
like
no one touched it.
No one touched it, except at the end, one lady just took it and just left it.
Legend.
Which is even great because
that was me. Yeah, best note. That's gone. That's gone.
But yeah, I mean, and then let's kind of go to the end or to the current kind of present. What are you? Well, actually, you had Lil Baby comment on your reel or picture. That was insane.
Crazy. That was insane. That was. So there's actually a story behind it.
What's the story? I'm intrigued.
I don't think I can say the story.
Oh, you can't say it.
But
give us a bit of a shorter version. Like
I'm just gonna say I have proof of him commenting.
You have proof of him commenting.
I have video proof of him commenting on Seaszn.
Oh wow.
That's all I can say.
Okay.
That's
coming.
When I can speak about it, I will. But for now, that's
so
all I'm giving you.
Big things are coming.
No, not in that way, but as in, I can't say much. But basically, yeah, Lil Baby, he learned some English, some UK slang,
yeah,
and then he commented on Seaszn with that UK slang that he just learned.
And, that's crazy. What was it? Just like a normal video of yours which you make regularly, and then he just came out of nowhere and just commented?
So I didn't know he would comment, but I know he would see it.
Okay. So
because of circumstances.
Okay, makes sense.
But I can't talk about that because I'm not involved in the reason why he commented.
Okay.
It's not me, it's other people. So I gotta just thank them.
Okay.
That's what it is.
That's good. So moving forward to now in the current moment, what are the plans for you to like moving forward?
Moving forward is sticking to the goal of dropping every month. Literally doing what I've been doing. It's working. I'm getting people recognize the brand. I'm being recognized in public, not for being my girlfriend's boyfriend, but for being the owner of Seaszn.
Yeah.
I remember in Halloween last year, the year that I just went, I'm in the club. I'm drunk, so drunk. It was like it was my best friend's birthday, and his birthday always lands on Halloween. Like on the Halloween weekend, that's when he does his birthday. So we all go out, and I am finished in this club, man. It was probably the best event I've ever been to. Anyways, I sit down on the bench. The guy next to me, total random guy, I don't know who he is. He taps me on the shoulder, he's like, "Oh, I love your brand, bro." I'm finished in my head, yeah, and this guy just finished me even more. I'm like, "What? How do you know my brand?" He's like, "Oh, I've seen you on TikTok, man. You're doing really well, man. I need a cop." I was like, "Bro,
that's crazy."
So sometimes you just need to step back and just like, how have you? I literally just sat here to catch a breather, and the guy next to me knows who I am. Luckily, I'm drunk, so I don't process it that much. But the next day, I processed it. And then also, a couple of weeks ago, I'm in my gym.
Yeah. I'm
in my gym. The place where, you know what I mean, I get away from everything. The place where I'm just working out. I've been there for like 5 years, this gym. I go into the gym, I'm doing squats. I'm setting myself up on the squat rack. There's two guys that tap me on the shoulder. He's holding his phone out. He's like, "Oh, are you that guy from TikTok?" And he has his phone out. He has my page on his phone. I'm like, yeah, that's me. He's like, "Oh, that's sick, man. Keep doing what you're doing." And then that's it. He goes back to what he's doing. I'm like,
that's one of the
craziest. Get ready for my squat. And then I think they're leaving the gym, so they go down there, and I can see them there, and they're just staring at me. They're just like, they keep peeking over at me, and I think one of them took a picture of me while I was mid squat. I was like, shit. Hey, I hope I look good. I had 100 kgs. I'll take that.
Oh wow, squatting 100 kgs.
So, and then I went when I deliver my parcels, I don't get them picked up from a van. I go to the shop and drop them off at the shop. They just scan it and just whatever. I go to the shop. The guy who's there was like, Hey, bro, you know I've seen your brand on TikTok. I'm like, I swear. What do you think about it? He's like, yeah, nah, I fuck with it. I was like, oh, that's sick. Yeah, this guy just scanning all my parcels.
That's sick that people actually, it's
Nah,
crazy.
it doesn't stop there.
It doesn't stop there.
I go to Pepe's. I've been going to this Pepe's for like 2-3 years. Like religiously. I love Pepe's.
Before you tell me what's your favorite meal in Pepe's?
Chicken rice. Mild.
You legend. Mild,
bro.
Mild.
Hot.
Is
I
the
used to
best.
get hot. It gave me stomach problems, bro. So I go Pepe's. These guys know me because I always go Pepe's. But one time I went Pepe's, I go in the shop, walk in, and the guy's like, oh, how's your brand going? And this is actually when I first started doing TikTok. So this was quite early in my TikTok career as an entrepreneur. So he's the first person that actually recognized the brand. He's like, oh, how's your clothing brand going? And I'm literally going through my wallet trying to get cash out. I'm like, what? I was like, how do you know? He's like, oh yeah, I saw it on TikTok. I was like, oh yeah, it's going well. I'm literally wearing the brand, innit?
Yeah.
I wear unreleased product. I was like, yeah, it's going well. And I was so shocked. Like I didn't even say much. I was like, yeah, take the money. Let me just take my Pepe's. I walked out. I called my girlfriend. Oh my God, I just got recognized in Pepe's. I can't even go to Pepe's no more.
Crazy.
It is actually mad. Like when I get recognized, I just can't believe it. It's just surreal. Like,
yeah.
But the one thing I haven't seen is someone wearing Seaszn in real life. The moment I see that, I'm gonna run up to them. I'm gonna get my phone out, record it. I'm gonna run up to be like, where did you get your hoodie from? It's so sick.
And then you could actually post that as well.
Yeah.
But I think you'll see that a lot more. It's just, as you said, the one thing which you said in style is that clothing brands take so much time. I think that's what people don't have. People don't have the patience no more when it comes to starting.
Last year was amazing. I'd get people DMing me saying, oh, I saw someone wearing Seaszn.
Wow.
I saw a video of my mate in a club and the guy behind him is wearing Seaszn. I'm like, who's that guy behind you? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, bro, he's wearing a Seaszn top. Go chase him. You couldn't find him. And then I get another guy. This is the craziest one I've heard. He's like, oh, yo, bro, I saw someone wearing Seaszn yesterday. I saw a couple people wearing Seaszn yesterday in the club at the bar. It was so crazy. And I was like, a couple? What do you mean a couple people? Like, elaborate. He's like, yeah, bro, at least 6 people at the bar wearing Seaszn. I'm like, 6 people? He's like, yeah, it's like a Seaszn pop-up. I'm like, what the hell?
If you were there, you probably would have went.
I don't know if he's lying. If you're watching this and you're lying to me, you know who you are, but these are random people. These are people I don't know. These aren't my friends.
Yeah.
These are just people that I follow or follow me. And they're just coming up to me with all these, literally like, oh, I saw someone wearing Seaszn. I saw someone wearing Seaszn. When I see that, I'm like, wow, like what I'm doing is actually working.
Yeah.
Like all that stress, all that anxiety, all that pressure that I had to build this brand to where it is, and I'm getting this sort of response. I'm so happy I didn't quit. I am so happy.
Yeah.
There's so many times where I could have quit. There's so many times where there were situations where it's like, oh, fuck this, man. I don't want to do this no more.
Biggest low moment where you're like, you know what? It's not going any further. And how did you overcome that?
Biggest low moment was probably not, I wouldn't say biggest. I feel like they're all pretty similar, but there was one where I'm in Thailand. This is 2019 or 2020. I found a guy who prints in UK, in East London. So I'm like to him, oh cool, can you print this design? It was like a Chinese design on the back of the t-shirt. We had like a yellow one and we had a grey one. And he's like, yeah, that's cool. I can do that for you. Give me like 3-4 weeks. And I go to East London to see how he works, stuff like that. He shows me it. And I'm like, cool, okay, this guy looks a bit trustworthy. So then I go to Thailand on a family holiday and we're releasing the product on my last day in Thailand. We're releasing the product. So I expect a week after, I come back to Thailand, we're releasing the product. But on the last day of me in Thailand, I get a picture from this guy. And he sends me a picture after nagging him for so long. This is when I was at TM Lewin, I'd be on my phone. I went outside to call him because he just wasn't responding. He was delaying it. 4 weeks had passed. So now it's the last day of me in Thailand. And he sent me a picture. and it's obviously of the t-shirt on the floor, and he took a picture of it, and the design of it, the design is bent. The design isn't straight, and I'm in Thailand. I'm literally like, I'm about to lose my head. I can't go to East London. I'm literally in another country. The product is releasing next week. We've already put it up on social media. We've already showed people what it looks like. People are expecting it. People are waiting for it. Oh my God, I swear, I was like, I need to get home. Fuck this holiday, bro. I was swear to God, Thailand was one of the best holidays I've been on. But at that moment, I was like, fuck this. Luckily, I was going home next day. I go home next day. I'm stressing to my parents about this because they know about it. This guy, I'm calling on WhatsApp. He's not picking up. He's not saying messages. He told me the way he was talking to me on WhatsApp was so rude. Like, bro, it's fine, just deal with it.
What?
Or I have the messages still, but I can't remember. But they were so rude and so unprofessional. He was like, I was like to him, oh, why are you not replying to my text? Why not answering my calls? Come, we need to sort this out. He's like, I'll call you when I want to call you. I'll deal with you when I want to deal with you. And I'm in Thailand. I'm like, is this guy fucking serious? Is this guy actually fucking serious? And you know what? I saw his video recently on TikTok. He's doing TikTok now. And he's apparently a manufacturer of all these goods. And he has he's bought like a manufacturer in India or Pakistan. So he's doing it from there. And I'm just thinking in my head, this guy is he's a scammer. This guy ruined half of the t-shirts that were selling out. They're all literally bent. I go to East London and I'm like, bro, all of these are bent. I need them redone. And he said, all right, cool. Put one on and let's see what it looks like on, because it might not look as deep. I put one on, it's literally bent. But he's like, nah, it's cool. You can get away with that. It's fine. People aren't going to notice that. And him and I don't know if it was his girl or if it was his partner, whatever, work partner, colleague. They were like, yeah, no, it's fine. You can get away with it. No one's going to realize that. And I'm like, I'm a perfectionist, so I hate that. And I got him to redo it, but still some of them were bent. That moment, I was just like, fuck me, man. Fuck this guy. And fuck this shit, man. I lost it. I actually lost it. That really ruined me, because now...
How did you overcome that, though?
I had to find a new manufacturer. A manufacturer which is reliable, which is obviously hard to find because you need a testing manufacturer. The whole process of finding a manufacturer is hard. It's long. It takes like months and months, because you need to make sure you get the right fabric, you get the right sizing, their printing is good, and everything is just done right.
Yeah.
Because if it isn't, then you have to find another manufacturer. It's all trial and error. So this is when Alibaba comes in play.
Yeah.
I found Alibaba. Soport at this time now costed, you have to pay a monthly fee to use it. Soport was good, but now
Alibaba was free.
Yeah. And I just want to say that this East London manufacturer guy, I found him on Instagram. So I didn't find him on Soport or anything like that. The Soport was just the hoodie manufacturer who did all the hoodies for us. But the only problem with that guy is his fabric he couldn't up the fabric quality, basically. He only had that and that's it. And he didn't have like we get like swatch books with all these colors. He didn't have any of that. He literally just had like a roll with all these fabric colors on it. And it wasn't really, you can't upgrade your brand by staying with him, basically. It was good. He did stuff fast, but there was a lot of mistakes with what he did, and the quality wasn't as good as I wanted to, because I know about the quality of the other brands that are doing it. So I was like, oh, cool, I need to find a new manufacturer. I got on Alibaba, and I'm like, okay. I'm like to my parents, actually, I'm like, I'm moving to China with my manufacturing, because I've heard that China manufacturing is precise and amazing. Do you know when I said that, oh, that was the lowest moment of my life? That was not the lowest moment of my life. The lowest moment of my life was in China.
What happened?
I find a manufacturer in China. They're good. They got good reviews. They look good. People are saying that, oh yeah, that they've delivered my product.
Did you
on
actually
time.
go to China?
No.
Oh, just
Nah,
Alibaba.
This is all Alibaba. So I contact them, and their name is like Win Apparel. Literally, their offices look amazing. Look, everything's all like sustainable. Everyone's being paid. The labor is being paid well. Everyone's had good work conditions, all that stuff. Because you got to make sure of that.
Yeah.
I don't want to build a brand that has manufacturers literally got like paying their workers little to nothing. I want to make sure everything's sustainable and the labor costs are good and the working conditions. That's the main thing. But on Alibaba, most of them are like that. Most of them are like good work conditions. Yeah. So I use this manufacturer. Obviously, I get a sample made from them. I get a tech pack. I make the tech pack. I get the sample, and it just comes like a sample usually takes like 2 weeks to make.
Took 4 weeks.
These lot took like 2 months to make the sample. 2 months. This wasn't when I lost my head though. This was like, all right, cool. At least I got the sample now after 2 months. I had another manufacturer that was producing. We had product basically.
Yeah.
So this was for a new product. These are for t-shirts. So get the sample, and I'm in my head. I'm thinking, okay, are these guys gonna take? I'm talking to them. You get assigned a project manager, and a project manager is basically one person from the manufacturer who deals with your products. So every brand has like a different product manager. I think a product manager will manage like 3-4 clients at once, and they basically help them with the products. So it comes late, and then I'm assigned a new product manager. Apparently the one that I had quit. So now I've got 2 people in the group chat on WhatsApp. This new person doesn't know what's going on. She doesn't know what materials. She doesn't know anything. And you'd think that, they'd have it all like on paper, what I've done and stuff like that. But she didn't know anything. She didn't know literally nothing. And I think at this point I already ordered like the bulk. I already ordered the bulk for it. And also I just want to say, I wasn't making great tech packs as well back then. My tech packs were a bit beginner looking. They weren't as precise as I wanted them to be. But yeah, that product ends up taking like 4-5 months to make.
4-5 months.
For literally like 100 t-shirts. 100 t-shirts that took 4 to 5 months to make. And in the end, I ended up with like, I think 3 or 4 project managers. Literally 4 people.
That company probably didn't know.
And there's Jatz, there's been so many times when I've been like, I'm going to quit this shit. Because
but what keeps you here today in front of me right now is the path you keep going on, keeping going.
The reason why I'm here right now is because I don't want to work for no one.
Yeah.
I don't want to work a 9 to 5. I'd actually rather work a 9 to 9 than a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
I'm having more fun with it. When I wake up in the morning, I see all these people going to work. And it's so depressing.
Depressing to see them, isn't it?
It's so depressing to see, because I'm looking at myself. I'm like, this is such a better life.
Yeah.
But obviously it's not secure.
Yeah.
You got to make it secure to have a better life.
And also the fact that it's a harder life, but it's more fun. Like doing a 9 to 5 is depressing, but it's easy money, and you just go there, do your shit, and come back home.
I ain't gonna lie. If like my brother, for example, he's working corporate. He's loving it. He's getting money. Like, and I look at him like, sometimes I'm like, shit, like this guy's getting a lot of money, man. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be the son that is the downfall of the family name.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make my own name. You know what I mean?
You will make the biggest name.
So that's what keeps me motivated. I can't go back to what I was doing.
Yeah.
I've started it, so now I need to finish it.
You're full time into this now.
Now I'm full time into this. Last year was the best year of my life. Literally, we increased sales by 265% last year compared to the year before. The year before wasn't as bad, by the way. We sold out all our products the year before. So it was a good year, but it wasn't consistent. But luckily with our following, when we do, say we drop and then we'll be a bit silent for 2 months or something, they would still fuck with the brand, or even after 2 months of being silent. So that was great. But it's not good for growing a brand because it's on and off. You can't do that. You have to be constant, on a constant incline. And that's what we're doing right now.
Has the turnover increased every year since you started?
Yes.
And last year was the best one.
Yeah, and this year is going to be even better.
How much is expected this year?
6 figures.
Okay, that's good.
6 figures this year.
That's good.
We have to reach 6 figures.
And is your margins a lot better than before? Because as you said, in clothing, I think trying to get your margins is so much difficult.
Yeah,
in the start.
That was one of the problems we have actually, is another manufacturer in China that we had. They were good. Everything was good about them, but they would charge a lot for the product. We were only getting around 30% profit, which is really bad. Yeah. Now we're getting like 60% profit.
I think that's a lot better as well.
Yeah. And it's not even, it's because we're increasing the material and the fabrics of all of our products. So as you do that, the price of the product itself goes up. So I was paying literally a price for a worse fabric, but now I'm paying the same price for even better fabric. And once we actually stopped using that manufacturer in mid last year, after that, man, the brand just started doing well. I don't know I actually don't know what happened. I don't know if it was because of my consistency on TikTok or us releasing a bit more regularly.
I think TikTok probably played a huge part in just trying to get your brand out there and getting that brand awareness rather than...
The brand really started doing well really recently, like in the last couple months. I'd say we've had the end of our year was absolutely amazing. We had like this big celebrity she's on TikTok. Her name is Madeline Argy.
Yeah, I saw the video as well.
And when I tell you that, what I told you before that I would like see their stories and I'll watch their stories and I would find out information from existing brands. This video of her came up on my For You page and she rants on about her life and stuff like that. It's quite entertaining. But in the final part of that video, I was gonna swipe, but I didn't swipe. In the final part of that video, she was talking about this tracksuit she's wearing and that, she hasn't been washing like 4 weeks. So she's like, if any brands have tracksuits, send it to me. I watched it. I was like, all right, cool. I dropped her DM on Instagram and she replied to it. She's got like over 1 million followers on Instagram. And she replied, what? And she was so chill. She's like, yeah, send it to me. Yeah, I can't wait. I sent her pictures of it and all that stuff. Unfortunately, no, we sent it to her and she wore it and it did really well. But the bad thing about that was the last manufacturer's clothing. That tracksuit was from the last manufacturer. So the profit was bad. And also there weren't a lot of them left. And also the quality wasn't what we're producing now.
Yeah, so I mean, this quality is insane.
I was like, shit. I was like, I've only I had
But you can
products.
reach out again, no? And
yeah,
just
we reached out again for the blue hoodie. So the blue version of this. And she wore it again. But it's just like, I wish we got more sales from the first one basically. And I just wish that we had this quality. At the time this hadn't come in, none of it had come in. I was still waiting for the bulk.
I mean, this is a kind of a super inspiring and incredible story of like you starting your journey. And I've literally gone so deep into your entire journey.
I don't remember. I don't remember half of it. Do you know how much thinking I've had to do? Because it's all a blur. The whole COVID period, absolute blur. Because I don't think anything happened.
It's not you only. Ask any one of my friends. We always think like, what happened for 2 years?
Yeah.
Like, what did we do? We don't remember. Well, I was always hustling by myself, and that's when I started this content creation thing and everything. But
if you want to ask me questions about my brand, you ask from last year. My brand started last year. My consistency started last year.
And imagine just in a year's time, it's doing really well. So
yeah, it's so nice. It's relieving. Before I'd struggle to balance like business with gym, with meeting my friends.
How do you balance your work life and?
It was hard. It was really hard. I'd be a ghost. I wouldn't do much because I'd be too busy.
What about with your girlfriend?
Yeah, that was we've hit some downs. We've had breaks because I was too busy concentrating on the brand. No one could see at the time that the brand was doing well because it was doing well, but it wasn't doing, you couldn't see it, right? We're getting sales, but the following was obviously 2,000-3,000 followers. So it was doing well, but it wasn't doing enough to change your life. And I was just so focused on the brand, and I still am focused on the brand, but it's more controlled now. I have drops lined up. I have samples already at my house, ready to be. I paid for like 4 bulks. I know the sizing of our hoodies are perfect. I don't need to alter nothing. The fabric's perfect. Everything is just perfect right now, and nothing needs upgrading. Everything is at a good level.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. It's not even good enough. It is good. It is really good.
You're a solo man doing all this.
Yeah.
Still.
I'm a solo man doing all this. I had no one's helping me in this game.
Damn.
I do it myself. But yeah, my relationship did get affected majorly. I guess it was a case of where I had no money. I couldn't treat her. All the money was in the brand, and all the money had been spent on a bulk. My savings had dropped. I was relying on my freelance. I'd get like 70, 100 quid from freelance. I'm not that person to ask my parents for money. I'm not asking them for money. So it was quite hard, especially for me, because I'm not gonna let her go like that. You can't let go of someone who's gonna be there for you during these hard times. She understood, but at the same time, it's like I was being a bit selfish. I wasn't giving her the time. Everything was about Seaszn. But looking back at it, I'm happy. Obviously, we are the way we are. Stuff happens. We grow. We both grown so much now, and now we're in like such a strong position.
Well, that's good to hear as well, because I feel like when growing a business, this part about work-life balance, it doesn't come in. It's always work, and there's hardly any life balance, and that's why I think everyone gets affected. And so you're probably in a much better position now compared to before. As
it's more controlled. This is literally what I was dreaming of like a couple years ago. I was dreaming to be in a position. The brand is still small. We're still a small brand. Like we still got so much to do.
Yeah.
But it's controlled in the sense that I can relax for a bit.
Yeah.
I can literally relax. At Christmas, I was relaxed. I wasn't stressing. Oh shit, I gotta get ready for this drop. Blah 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 blah. It's all relaxed. It's more like I've got everything sorted. I've got like 4 or 5 months worth of drops sorted. It's all chilled. It's all good. I know my materials. I've learned a lot about patterns. So patterns is to make a t-shirt. They don't just cut out the t-shirt. They make each section of the t-shirt is called a pattern. Okay. So you get the front body of the t-shirt. They cut that out, and then they cut the sleeves out, and they attach that all together. That's how a t-shirt is made. Okay. And with the hoodie, the sleeves are like they cut the fabric out separately. So it's like a template. And then they stitch it all together after. So that's a pattern. That's how the hoodie's made. The hoodie's not made like with the sleeves and then just go around
I thought it was like
around it. No. It's a pattern. It can be very complex. But I've done a lot of research on patterns, and I now understand how patterns are made and the process of the patterns. And because it is so complex. It is so complex. But now I'm at a point where I'm experimenting with like designs as well. I brought out some cargo pants last year, and now I'm working on like some crazy denim ones. I research a lot of runways. I look at the LV runway that just happened, and I take design aspects from that. And on a level, if these denim cargos come out the way I want it to come, and I know when it comes to running a clothing brand, you got to be on top of your trends. You got to be on top of what's popping, what people are wearing. I don't base my brand on trends, but it's good to know the trends.
Yeah.
And fashion shows really show that. I know that this summer, everyone's going to be wearing jeans.
Okay.
And watching summer, everyone's going to be wearing baggy jeans. Like light blue denim jeans.
You know, one thing I really like about you is that you're so obsessed with your business and what you're doing. Yeah. And doing so much research. And you're like, okay, I need to do this. I need to be on top of the game. I think that is what is made you successful. In I think that's from this whole conversation I've taken. One thing is you're super obsessed. Yeah. And you won't believe it, but in the morning, my guys just came with a camera to me and be like, yo, what's the quote of the day? I'm like, you need to be obsessed to see results. And to see results, to see results, you need to be obsessed, and you need to be obsessed to see results. So I was just talking about obsession.
I think I showed that on my TikTok as well. Like like there are times when I look through my TikTok and I'm like, fucking hell, like, shut the fuck up, man. Like all you do is chat about your brand. But it's like, no, it's entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
The people out there come up to me and said like, oh my God, your vlogs are so entertaining. And even the way I film them quite different. Like I have like angles on top of my...
I want to ask that, how the hell do you get the angle?
So there's one video of me obviously packing orders and the camera's on my ceiling.
Yeah.
I basically got brown tape and I taped my phone to the ceiling.
Oh, wow.
Because I'm like, how am I going to be different? How am I going to be different on TikTok? I'm always looking to elevate my videos. Different angles, I don't know, different structures. Like, I like storytelling. And in my vlogs, one of my vlogs did really well where we're releasing the blue hoodie. I don't know if you've seen it, but I'm basically preparing for the release the next day. So I'm doing a stock count of all the boxes in my brother's room. I use my brother's room to build a business, by the way, because he's moved out, so I use his room. He's got all these boxes in his room, and it's just a video of me just counting stock. And then I'm in bed. I'm just editing the video from the photo from the photo shoot, and then the next day I show me sending out emails and how I set up emails. It's just a general
day in the life type thing. Yeah,
getting ready for the drop. What I do, the process I do before a drop to make sure it's all good. By the way, the website is still locked, so no one can access the website. But yeah,
when's the next drop?
When's the next drop? Next drop is on 3rd of February. These hoodies.
These hoodies. So I'm exclusive.
You're the first person to wear. My girlfriend ain't even got a hoodie.
I feel so sick right now.
So yeah, that video did really well, and in that video, the storytelling was actually really well done because I'm packing orders. So the video starts from the day before the drop, and then after the drop, and me packing orders from the drop that just happened. So when I'm packing orders, I got a bandage on my arm. So I'm liking the video. Oh, you're probably wondering why I got this bandage on my arm. And then I track back to why I have the bandage on my arm. And I show a video of me playing golf, Top Golf. And I spray my wrist at Top Golf. So I'm like, it's like a kind of...
You hooked them in the start and then...
I was kind of smart when I did that. And after that video did really well, it's on like 400k views.
Okay.
Yeah, so after that video did well, I'm like, all right, cool. I like the storytelling. So nowadays, I look for doing that. So with the Lil Baby video, I started off with last week, Lil Baby commented on my video, blah, blah, blah. That engages the audience. Yeah. And then I go off onto talking about the new bulk that I got.
Yeah.
So I start off like that with something really engaging, because you have to get the audience in the first 0.8 seconds of watching a video.
Yeah.
That's how you engage someone. So the text is there. Because they can see Lil Baby's comment, and then I go to the main part of the video. So that wasn't even the main part of the video. That was just to engage, to get people watching.
I like how I'm learning a lot about TikTok, even though I make TikTok videos. So that's really nice. And with storytelling, I always struggled, but I think I always complicated storytelling.
Yeah.
I always went into the complex part of like, how do you actually tell a story like a movie?
Yeah.
But I forgot the basics, which you just do the simple things.
It is literally just be yourself.
Yeah.
As long as you be yourself, then everything will be fine.
And you making videos about your life is also helping the brand, kind of people loving the brand more because of you as well, because they're able to see the process behind it and all of that. Another thing I think, along with the obsession, one thing which I've kind of noticed is that you really care about the product delivery as well.
Yeah.
Most people care about the marketing. If you see most brands, they will try and make the product look so banging on the actual pictures and everything.
Yeah.
But when they deliver the product and the person feels it, the customer, they're like, what the hell is this? And that's where they lose the customer. But for yours, I think your marketing is great and the product is even better. And that's when you are kind of over delivering what you have already promised.
For me, the product does the talking.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how good your marketing is. When people wear your shit, if it's crap quality, you're going to get called out for it.
Yeah.
In the end, you're going to get called out for it. Maybe at first you'll get away with it, but it doesn't run. The way the fashion industry is now, brands are upping their material, upping their game. It's so competitive. Before, there weren't actually that many brands doing good quality items. Everyone's doing heavyweight hoodies. Everyone's doing heavyweight tees. So it's about like leveling up above that. And
you learned all of this thing about like material and everything all from Google by yourself. Did you ever take a course on how to make a market?
No,
I mean, nothing.
So I don't understand. I don't understand how I know so much. I think it's just through literally stalking brands, finding networks from there, chatting to manufacturers. I have like a whole box massive box full of books, swatch books on like different fabrics, different colors. I had like a whole box full of it, and none of them I used.
All right, I will give you this question: if someone was starting a clothing brand today, give them 7 steps or 5 steps kind of thing, guide to start to go from where to where.
I was waiting for this one. That's what you do, yeah. You get a name, you create a logo, make sure the name is memorable, make sure it's a name that isn't cheesy either. It's good to have a meaning behind your brand, and then you trademark the name, and then what you do is you get a domain website, you start get a Shopify account. Once you got a Shopify account, that's all your legal stuff should be done by then. And now you create a product. You don't create one product, you create 6 products. You create 6 months in advance. So that means you have 6 months worth of product. Once you have those 6 products done, then you start to market a product each month. And you should always be 6 months ahead of where you are.
Okay.
If you're 6 months ahead, 6 months advance in planning, then your brand will literally be so consistent. And also another thing, be very transparent with how you market your brand. Back in the day, people used to just like not know the owner of the brand. The owner would stay hidden, and they would just do like, do you know how ASOS is, how they just take pictures of the models with a white backdrop? It used to be like that. But now people want to know the owners of the brand. People want to know who's behind it and it's good to have a story, especially a story of like me explaining for the fabrics and all that stuff. So definitely be very transparent about your brand, because that's what's different between me and a lot of other people. Yeah. Is I'm so transparent. Be obsessed, as Jatz said. And also just keep researching, keep knowing what's going on around you, keep knowing what's going on in the fashion industry. Stay up to date with everything. It's good to have your own way with the brand where it's your direction, that's fine. But you should also have an understanding of what's going on around, e.g. trends and everything else. That does not mean you have to follow the trends. By all means, it's good to be in your own lane, 100%. But you should always know what's going on around you. Being self-aware as well. And then, you should be sorted.
And just stay consistent. And I think that is literally how you start the clothing brand today.
It's not hard. It's so easy.
It's not hard. It's easy, but it takes a lot of patience.
You need to expect, and I'm still going through it, that period, 2 to 5 years until you see proper results.
Yeah. You
can't start a brand and do a madness in a year. But some brands have done that, and like Broken Planet Market on TikTok. I don't know if you've seen they blew up on TikTok and they're doing so well right now. So props to them lot. But realistically, it doesn't happen to all brands.
Yeah.
That only happens to like 0.2% of brands.
And only 1% survive.
And only 1% survive.
That's crazy.
Once you get through that survival period, you're winning, man.
I mean, thank you for firstly sharing your story and then telling all the guys and the girls who was watching.
Oh yeah, I hope my voice sounds good on the mic.
Don't worry. I think you, as Kozarpan's hearing you, he can hear both of us speaking. Okay. So it should be good.
Okay.
But thank you for coming on the podcast, man.
Thanks for having me.
And I'm sure once you are 5 years into your journey, we'll have you again.
No, we're gonna meet up next year.
Yeah,
we're gonna meet up next year and do this again, and then we'll see where we are.
I would love that, because I would love to compare how you're this year.
Every year we should have a podcast.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be crazy. Every year until you hit 7 figures in a year.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Let's do that, and I'll hold you accountable for that. But once again, thank you for joining.
So good, man.
And I'll see you all in the next podcast. But before that, don't forget to go check out Sagar's Instagram. He doesn't have YouTube, I think, but TikTok.
That's good. We should start that.
You should start YouTube. Definitely.
YouTube Shorts.
Yeah, YouTube Shorts is popping.
Yeah. It's good facts.
And all the links will be in the description. And if you're watching it, or if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcast, it will be in the podcast notes. So go check it out, and I'll see you guys in the next podcast. Peace out.